to start owning stuff. At least that's my opinion on this. And by stuff, by owning things, I mean you need to have, whether that's assets, land goes along with there, a garden, potted plants, etc., etc. Guns, ammunition, that kind of stuff. By ownership, I mean you need to have the real things in your hand. Feel it, touch it, it's physical, the real gold, the real silver, whether that's coins or any other kind of jewelry, whatever, any other kind of form of it. You need to own the real things. What's happening is that the people in charge, the people that should not be in charge, are gathering up and taking all of the mineral rights, all the rights to access points, all the rights of water, all the rights of land, all the rights of your metals, all the rights of ownership of everything. So hopefully, they think there'll come a time in the near future, I'm guessing they're hoping on, or they're gearing towards, aiming for, that everyone, the majority of everyone, not everyone, everyone, the majority of everyone, will own nothing or own very little and have to rent and or ask permission. Pretty please, yes, I will do what you say, I will do what you tell me to, so I can get X, Y, Z, so I can get access to food, so I can get access to water, so I can have the privilege or the permission from you, oh great, government or whatever the case is, so I can hunt on my land, or so I can go fishing here, or so I can do this or do that, so I can build this other, structure on some land that maybe I've acquired, whatever. Insert whatever circumstance you want, but what's happening is that less and less people are owning less and less things to hopefully have that go away, in their opinion, their view, and the ones that are trying to gobble and gather everything and have control over everything. I mean, just look at how much the government, in quotes, owns for land. So that's publicly owned because supposedly it's from our tax dollars, and really it's theft. It's from the stuff that's stolen from us, whether that's inflation or tax dollars or whatever they want to put there. It's fees, it's whatever. They purchase all the stuff. They gather it all up, and then you and your friends and your family and all the other underlings, in their opinion, cannot use that. You may be able to some of it, and you're going to have to ask permission. You're going to have to pay a fee. You're going to have to pay to get their okay on it, that kind of stuff, and then you might have to fall in line and do certain things in order to be allotted with this permission or this grandiose to be able to walk on what is considered public land, but it's just considered government land, which is basically mafia, worse than the mafia, like I've said before. So they own it all. Yes, they do. With the facade, the false narrative that it's owned by everyone. They own it all. They can have access to that anytime they want. They can allow anyone else they want that they know to do it, have access for it for free or for whatever fee, that kind of stuff. But just the people they don't know or they don't get along with or they don't agree with, they can say, you guys can't come here. You can't do this. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to step on this property. Yes, it's government owned, it's government controlled, it's publicly owned, they may say even. But because you don't fall in line or you don't do this or you see this way, you're not allowed to step here. It's only for the ones that follow orders. So basically, that's just what I'm trying to get across. So if you don't own anything at all, or you own very little, that means you're going to have to pay for permission for someone else to use it. You're going to have to give someone else money, your hard-earned labor, whatever. Your labor with the hard-earned money you made from your labor, I should have said, or the okay to touch these things. So what are these things I'm talking about? Well, like I've said this before, and it's not just them. It's if you own these things, nobody else owns these things. Nobody else has rights to these things. Nobody else can tell you what you can and can't not do with it. For the most part, that's how it is. That's how it should be. Whether it's like that or not, that's how it should be. We're all humans here. We all have the same rights here. That's it. It's our land. It's our, world. It doesn't make this person over here because they're elected president, or because they're a senator, or because they work on the school board, or because they are a person who dress up in a costume and then they call them police officers or whatever. They don't have any more rights. They don't have any more privileges. They shouldn't than your standard guy that is out there, and maybe he works his land by himself. He's a farmer, or maybe he is a laborer and he works on people's homes. Whatever the case is, those other people should have no more rights than anyone else. Everyone's human, and it's a level playing field. Well, at least it should be. It's not. You know that. This is not land of the free, home of the land of the free, home of the brave. It is land of the fee, home of the slave. And I'll accentuate. It's the home of the slave. This is land of the fee because you have to pay fees for permission for everything. At least they want you to. They want you to fall in line. So anyways, because you own it, they don't. Period. Who's they? Anybody else. Gold, silver, land, cattle, chickens, rabbits, for food or whatever it is. Water well. If you have a water well, you own that. That's yours. They should not and cannot tell you what you may or may not do with that. A pond on your land. Guns, ammunition. If you have a garden growing or potted plants, whatever, that's the same thing. You have those real physical items. You control them. No one else should be able to control that or tell you what you may or may not do with that. Period. If you don't own these things, you don't own anything, then you have no rights to stuff, and you have to rely on someone else to say, yes, you can do this, and you can only do this and that with that thing. Or you can only access this from this time to this time, or this date to this date. Because you got to ask for permission, you got to pay the fee that I'm telling you have to pay to get access to whatever it is we're talking about. And then once this time is done and I say you can't anymore, or maybe I'll just say you can't at all because of something you might have done in the past that I disagree with. But anyways, I know you know a lot of these things. I just want to get this out there because I see this happening all the time. More and more it seems like less and less people own anything. And I mean, even cash itself, less and less people use that for trade and barter. They're all dependent on their digits, on the stuff that's not real. People who are stuck in these video games, and stuck in these video games, I mean, that's what they do. Most of their waking moments of their life are these video games, whatever they are. That's not reality. And it's going to, sometime, this ball's going to break, and it's going to be like overnight, and then pretty soon it's like, well, most of you people, most of us people own not a thing. Really, we can't say what we may or may not do without asking someone else permission, without asking if I may or may not, without paying for some sort of thing, for some sort of quote-unquote service. So I just want people to realize this. You're giving up your freedoms. You're giving up, it's giving up your life, basically, and any control you may have of it still. But anyways, that's all I had to say. Real quick video. Thanks for watching. If you like this lecture, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And as always, stay vigilant with yourself, family, and health.